In the Amazon, every breath drawn could be a celebration of life, or a signal that a hunt is underway. Beneath the vast forest's stillness, countless ambushes unfold simultaneously across every stratum, from the towering canopy high above and the sodden carpet of decaying leaves on the forest floor to the depths of the dark waters below. A single moment of inattention is all it takes for any creature to become the next target in this brutal battlefield of survival. Stretching endlessly like a vast blue ocean, the Amazon holds more than half of Earth's tropical rainforests. Yet, beneath that immense canopy lies a world almost entirely devoid of light. 98% of sunlight is blocked high above, leaving the forest floor shrouded in perpetual darkness and humidity. Every carpet of decaying leaves or tangle of dry branches offers an ideal spot for an ambush. The slightest noise or a single misstep can instantly turn the hunter into the prey. Weaving through the heart of the jungle is a network of surging rivers that discharge 1/5 of the world's total freshwater into the ocean. When the rainy season arrives, river levels rise by more than 10 meters, submerging thousands of square kilometers of forest beneath vast expanses of murky water. This drastic upheaval disrupts the entire habitat, forcing countless species to embark on a perilous migration. Caimans inhabit rivers, lakes, swamps, and slow-moving waterways across a range extending from Mexico and Central America to much of South America, particularly within the Amazon and Orinoco basins. Their eyes and nostrils are positioned high on their heads, allowing them to observe their surroundings and breathe while keeping most of their bodies submerged, an adaptation well-suited to ambush hunting. However, when a cayman ventures into the shallows near the bank, a jaguar begins to stalk it. Concealed by riverside vegetation, the jaguar crouches low, watching the cayman's every movement before closing the distance. As a strong swimmer that frequently operates around rivers, the jaguar is not deterred by shallow water when approaching its prey. The cayman remains near the water's edge. Once the gap has narrowed significantly, the jaguar suddenly lunges, pinning the cayman down with its forelimbs. The reaction is instantaneous. The cayman thrashes violently, attempting to escape into deeper water where its swimming ability might offer a better chance of flight. The jaguar maintains the upper hand, controlling the cayman's head before delivering a powerful bite to the skull. Unable to break free, the cayman is dragged onto the bank, bringing the hunt to a successful conclusion for the jaguar. From the cayman's underwater concealment to the jaguar's ability to observe, approach, and subdue its target, every characteristic directly influences the course of the hunt. The jaguar relies not only on brute strength, but also on choosing the precise distance and moment to strike, thereby minimizing the cayman's ability to resist. A successful hunt provides the jaguar with essential protein, fat, and energy. Jaguars can hunt both on land and in the water, but the giant otter is not an easy target. Inhabiting the Amazon, Orinoco, and Pantanal basins, these otters possess elongated bodies, feet adapted for swimming, and powerful tails that allow for rapid changes in direction. Crucially, giant otters live in family groups, a social structure that provides a distinct advantage when danger arises. Upon spotting an otter near the bank, the jaguar moves stealthily, repositioning itself and closing the distance before launching a surprise attack. Sensing the predator, the otter immediately plunges into the water to create a gap before turning back to sound an alarm call. Hearing the signal, other members of the group quickly converge, transforming an individual reaction into a collective response. As the group swims closer, issuing warning calls in unison, the risk of confrontation escalates for the jaguar. It backs off, abandons the hunt, and leaves the area, allowing the otter to escape the attack. For the giant otter, group living enhances the ability to respond to threats. For the jaguar, retreating when the risk becomes too high is also a survival strategy. For creatures that inhabit the water, danger is not always easy to spot. Sometimes, the threat is dangerously close before it is even detected. One such predator is the anaconda, found primarily in the Amazon and Orinoco basins. As an ambush predator, it strikes suddenly, seizing its prey and wrapping it in a tight embrace. Its powerful muscles exert crushing pressure on the victim's circulatory system with every coil. In this instance, that formidable strength is directed at an adult cayman. Attacking an adult cayman is never an easy task, even for an anaconda. The anaconda approaches stealthily before suddenly lunging and coiling around its opponent. The cayman immediately twists, thrashes violently, and snaps back in a bid to escape. While the anaconda struggles to maintain its grip, the cayman continues to shift and fight back, causing the advantage to seesaw throughout the struggle. As the anaconda attempts to hold its coils, the cayman keeps twisting and biting, gradually creating space. The snake tries to maintain its hold, but the cayman ultimately breaks free from the coils and escapes the attack. The hunt ends in failure for the anaconda. This time, a relentless defense has secured the cayman's survival. In the wetlands of South America, capybaras live in herds, maintaining contact through whistles and warning hisses. This communication allows members to stay connected and react to changes in their surroundings. Yet, before the herd could detect the danger and sound an alarm, an anaconda silently closed in. Remaining undetected, the anaconda crept closer, waiting for a capybara to let its guard down. Once within striking distance, it lunged suddenly, seizing the prey and rapidly coiling its body around it to apply pressure and cut off blood circulation. Subdued by the initial strike, the capybara was unable to escape. With the prey unable to break free, the anaconda held it fast and began swallowing it whole, aided by the high flexibility of its jaw structure and connective tissues. The hunt ended in victory for the anaconda, thanks to its ambush skills and impeccable timing. Each successful hunt not only sustains the snake's life, but also contributes to the natural balance of the ecosystem. Battles for survival do not occur solely between large predators. Sometimes, even on a single leaf, a tiny creature must face danger. Glass frogs inhabit the rainforests of Central and South America, including the Amazon basin. They rely on camouflage and cling to leaves to avoid detection. While the frog is away from the clutch to forage, a wasp begins to approach the eggs. Upon spotting the wasp closing in on the eggs, the glass frog immediately turns back. It rushes toward the nest, approaches the wasp, and uses its legs to shove the intruder away from the clutch. The threat to the eggs transforms into a direct confrontation. Faced with the frog's reaction, the wasp abandons the nest and flies off, while the frog resumes its position guarding the clutch. The confrontation ends in victory for the glass frog, as the eggs remain safe. For this glass frog, a timely response has protected the clutch and given the eggs a chance to continue developing. Across the Amazon forest floor, thousands of army ants move in unison, posing a grave threat to the small creatures hiding amidst the leaf litter. Rather than hunting in isolation, they maintain constant contact and coordination as the colony advances. It is this collective hunting strategy that quickly places crickets, spiders, and various other arthropods in their path at risk. Upon detecting the approaching army ants, alert prey immediately flee or leap from their hiding spots. Slower individuals are rapidly overtaken and pinned down by the ants, leaving virtually no chance of escape as increasing numbers of ants swarm the target. While one group subdues the prey, the rest of the colony presses onward in search of the next target. The hunt thus unfolds along the colony's line of march. Their ability to mass attack a single target allows army ants to overpower prey far larger than any individual ant. For army ants, sheer numbers, coordination, and the power of the swarm drive their hunting success on the forest floor. Dangers on the forest floor arise not only from other species, but also from conflicts between ant colonies. Just beneath the soil, big-headed ants build vast colonies consisting of multiple interconnected nests. They possess disproportionately large heads, which serve as a defense mechanism when their nest is threatened. Thanks to their large numbers and excellent organization, they forage efficiently, until their colony's trail is detected by army ants. Upon picking up the scent, the initial army ants quickly summon reinforcements, causing their numbers around the nest to swell rapidly. The big-headed ants immediately mount a defense, while others scramble to relocate larvae and pupae away from the zone of attack. As more army ants arrive, the big-headed ants' defensive capabilities falter, and their nest entrances are gradually overrun. Pouring through these entrances, the army ants invade the nest and carry off a portion of the larvae and pupae. The raid ends in victory for the army ants, leaving the big-headed ant colony to count its losses. The captured larvae become a food source for the army ants and their own developing brood. After every hunt in the Amazon, raw power is never the sole factor determining the outcome. From the ability to ambush and react swiftly to the collective strength of a pack, each species relies on its own unique advantages to survive. Some succeed by striking at the perfect moment, others escape by fighting back, and some choose to retreat when the danger escalates. It is precisely these precarious moments that keep the Amazon's cycle of survival in perpetual motion. In landscapes where the distance between species is measured in mere strides, a single movement can trigger a rapid chain reaction, escalating the situation into a confrontation. As tension mounts, the predator dictates the timing, positioning, and pace to seize a fleeting advantage. What then truly determines which side retains control in the end? In the rugged, mountainous regions of Africa, leopards are widely distributed and well adapted to environments featuring high vantage points. Weighing between 30 and 90 kilograms and possessing dense musculature and powerful jaws, they are capable of swiftly subduing prey at close range. Their exceptional climbing ability allows them to maintain a safe distance while gaining a tactical advantage against threats from the ground. Aware of this advantage, the pack of wild dogs does not rush in. Instead, they maintain their distance and monitor the leopard from multiple directions. Once they close the gap to striking range, they accelerate in unison, applying relentless pressure to force the leopard from its position. Upon touching the ground, the encounter shifts into a chase, rapidly shrinking the leopard's safety zone. Having lost its initial position, the leopard moves to relocate and relieve the pressure. It quickly ascends to a new high point, while the pack halts below. The encounter concludes with the leopard successfully maintaining a safe distance. Across the vast grasslands of sub-Saharan Africa, hyenas move in groups through open terrain that offers almost no cover. While a top speed of around 60 kilometers per hour allows for quick reactions, their standout advantage is the stamina to sustain long-distance movement. This enables them to maintain a stable formation, ready to adjust to changing circumstances and prepare for potential confrontations. Amidst this state of readiness with the clan dispersed around a food source, a male lion approaches closely before suddenly accelerating. He manages to pin down one individual for a few seconds. However, the other hyenas immediately circle back, constantly closing in. Faced with mounting pressure from multiple directions, the lion loses his stable footing and is forced to shift from an offensive to a defensive stance. As he becomes surrounded, the lion gradually loses control of the situation. The hyena that had been pinned breaks free and quickly rejoins the pack, while the pressure is maintained for a brief moment longer. The encounter concludes with the lion pausing to observe the scene, while the hyena clan retreats safely, maintaining their balance within this competitive environment. Across the African savanna, zebras constantly move between grasslands and water sources, such as rivers and lakes, to survive. The open terrain, devoid of cover, forces them to rely on speed, reflexes, and herd dynamics to minimize risk. Instinct drives them to flee at the first sign of danger. However, as they enter the water, the herd's formation loosens, creating gaps that are difficult to control. As the herd ventures deeper into the current, a zebra fold slows down against the force of the water, losing its position relative to the others. A crocodile, having tracked the group while maintaining a steady distance, waits for the opportune moment. The instant the foal falters in its movement, the crocodile launches a rapid short-range strike, seizing the animal and gaining total control of the situation. Once captured, the foal can neither accelerate nor rejoin the herd. The crocodile uses its weight and pulling power to drag the animal underwater until it ceases to struggle. The outcome is quickly decided, as the crocodile holds the absolute advantage in the aquatic environment. The entire encounter illustrates the high risks inherent in the interface between land and water. While herd movement mitigates danger on land, individuals can still become separated during river crossings. This dynamic ensures a food source for crocodiles and maintains the balance of survival within the ecosystem. In the dry grasslands of Africa, warthogs typically inhabit areas near natural burrows, which serve as shelters and resting spots. Under normal circumstances, they avoid confrontation and move towards safety upon detecting a threat. However, when cornered in a confined space or near a burrow entrance, their behavior shifts towards aggression, creating a situation from which there is often no turning back. From a distance, the leopard observes and tracks the warthog's movements, waiting for the gap to close. Once the warthog loses its clear path of retreat, the leopard launches a rapid, short-range sprint to engage head-on. It maintains constant pressure, restricting the prey's ability to maneuver and quickly bringing the situation under control. At close quarters, the warthog cannot sustain an effective counterattack. The leopard holds its position and controls the prey's movements until it is no longer capable of resistance. The outcome is decisive, and the warthog provides the vital energy needed to sustain the leopard's predatory activities. Across the vast African grasslands, African wild dogs operate in open terrain, requiring space to run and coordinate their hunts. Avoiding dense vegetation, they rely on clear sight lines and constant movement to assess the situation, maintaining their formation as they transition into the pursuit phase. When a warthog dives into a burrow, the pack immediately positions itself around the entrance, keeping a safe distance while controlling the area. One group applies pressure, while another blocks potential escape routes. As the space becomes restricted, the warthog is forced to bolt. The pack instantly accelerates, closing the distance and tightening the encirclement. Cornered and disoriented, the warthog loses its sense of direction and cannot break free. The dogs take turns moving in, maintaining relentless pressure until the animal is no longer capable of resistance, sealing its fate. Across vast savannas, wildebeests inhabit areas near rivers and lakes, where water sources dictate their seasonal migrations. The open terrain, offering little cover, compels them to remain constantly on the move and maintain keen vigilance. They gather in massive herds ranging from hundreds to millions and rarely stand still. As they approach a river, the crowding intensifies. The chaos at the river crossing creates a prime opportunity. A crocodile moves slowly through the water, keeping its body low and approaching with the current. Once within striking distance, it accelerates suddenly to attack a wildebeest that has lost its balance midstream. Its jaws snap shut, clamping onto the animal and dragging it off its original path. In the water, the wildebeest cannot maintain the speed it possesses on land. The crocodile exploits its leverage and positioning to gain total control. The wildebeest is held submerged and unable to break free. The outcome favors the crocodile as it maintains its grip. This sequence demonstrates that at the interface of land and water, mass migration carries significant risk, while the crocodile requires only a fleeting moment to seize complete control of the situation. In the bush and grassland mosaic of East and Southern Africa, impalas keep their distance from water sources to minimize the risk posed by predators. This environment compels them to remain constantly vigilant and agile while moving through open terrain. Impalas can reach speeds of 80 to 90 kilometers per hour and leap up to 3 meters high and 10 meters across, abilities that offer a brief safety advantage. However, when the herd spreads out and the gap to a predator suddenly closes, the situation turns perilous. High up in the canopy, the leopard holds a steady position, monitoring the herd below and waiting for the right moment. When an impala moves into the perfect spot and momentarily slows down, the leopard drops from above, lands within striking distance, and instantly accelerates. In just a few strides, it closes the gap and locks onto its target, seizing control of the situation. Once the advantage of speed is negated at close range, the impala loses its ability to break free from the predator's grasp. The leopard maintains its hold and body positioning to restrain the prey. On the open grasslands, zebra herds remain constantly vigilant, with at least one individual keeping watch over the surroundings. Their quick reflexes allow the entire herd to move instantly at the first sign of anything unusual. Capable of reaching speeds of around 65 kilometers per hour with rapid short-burst acceleration and strong endurance, they typically maintain a safe distance from predators until their formation is disrupted. Seizing this moment, The pride of lions does not approach from a single direction, but fans out to control multiple positions. When the herd's movement becomes disorganized, one zebra becomes separated from the main group. Once within striking distance, the lions accelerate simultaneously, closing in from multiple sides and applying relentless pressure to prevent their prey from rejoining the herd. Isolated, the zebra cannot maintain its speed and gradually loses the ability to resist. The lions hold their positions and control the animal's movements until it comes to a halt. The outcome is sealed, and the prey provides the essential energy needed to sustain the entire pride. In the vast wilderness of North America, where every footprint in the snow could lead to a confrontation, wolves not only stalk, but also actively attack when the opportunity arises. Each approach is carefully calculated. Each acceleration creates pressure that gradually severs the prey's control. And it is in those fleeting moments that the attack begins to shape an unchangeable outcome. On the vast grasslands of the Great Plains and Yellowstone, bison move in herds in open spaces, where their long-distance vision helps them detect danger early. When threatened, the entire herd turns to face the predator to maintain distance. However, as the formation stretches during movement, gaps gradually appear, creating vulnerable points of attack. On the edge of the snow-covered forest, a pack of wolves maintained a low formation, approaching from multiple directions without rushing to attack. They spread out to form a wide encirclement, patiently narrowing the bison's movement space. When the bison accelerated to escape the encircled area, the wolves immediately pursued, forcing the formation to spread out, and this disruption quickly turned into increasing pressure. A single bison falling behind, unable to maintain the pack's rhythm, became a clear target in the open space. The wolves focused on this target, coordinating to maintain distance and sustain pressure in a steady rhythm. Victory gradually shifted to the one maintaining the pursuit, and was held until the situation was locked in. When the defensive formation could no longer be maintained, the advantage of collective strength diminished significantly. In open space, even a small gap could make a difference. And from there, the situation could shift irreversibly. Amidst the snow-covered tundras of Canada and Greenland, Arctic hares move swiftly across the open surface where temperatures can drop very low. Their thick white fur helps them blend into the environment and reduces their chances of detection. However, in the vast, unobstructed space, when foraging and distracted, their movements can still be detected from afar, making them easy targets for exploitation. On the open snow, the two wolves maintained their distance and observed in silence before acting. Without delay, they simultaneously accelerated, charging straight towards their target, forcing the rabbit to flee immediately. As the prey constantly changed direction to avoid being caught, the two wolves maintained a steady pursuit, and this change quickly escalated into increasing pressure, making them easy targets. The rabbit gradually lost its advantage as it had to maintain high speed for an extended period, while the two wolves kept a reasonable distance. A short burst of acceleration allowed them to close the gap and regain control of the situation. The advantage shifted decisively to the side, maintaining the coordinated pace, and this was maintained until the situation became more stable. In the frigid tundras of Alaska and northern Canada, musk oxen move in herds across thick snow, in sub-zero temperatures and open spaces. Their thick fur helps them withstand the cold and still find food. However, when the formation is not yet stable during movement, gaps appear, creating vulnerable points for exploitation. From a distance, a pack of wolves moved low and stealthily, maintaining a distance to avoid early detection. The alpha wolf constantly shifted positions, probing the musk ox pack's reaction before acting. When they sensed the formation hadn't yet stabilized, the entire pack suddenly charged from multiple directions, forcing the musk ox pack to hastily regroup. And this disruption quickly escalated into escalating pressure. An individual unable to rejoin the defensive formation was separated from the pack, becoming a clear target on the vast, snowy plains. The pack coordinated their pursuit, constantly adjusting their movements to keep the prey cornered. The advantage gradually shifted to the side, maintaining the coordinated rhythm, then solidified until the situation was under control. Once the defensive formation was broken, the ability of the separated individual to defend itself significantly diminished. In open space, even a moment of delay can make all the difference, and from there, the outcome closed in an irreversible direction. Between the tundras of Alaska and Canada, caribou migrate across vast snowfields where temperatures are consistently low and food sources are limited. Their large hooves help them maintain balance on the soft snow and dig through the thick snow to find lichen in the winter. This environment reduces the presence of predators. But when an individual slows down in its migration, the gap widens, creating an opening for exploitation. Against the backdrop of the vast white snow, a lone wolf moves slowly and steadily, observing the caribou herd in silence. It patiently tracks their movements, waiting for the right moment to approach. When the herd begins to lose its rhythm, the wolf gradually closes the distance before accelerating from behind, forcing the entire herd to disperse briefly, and this disruption quickly turns into constant pressure. A caribou separated from the herd, unable to keep up with the pace, becomes the sole target in the vast space. The wolf uses its stamina to continue closing in, maintaining a reasonable distance and controlling the situation. The advantage gradually shifts to the patient wolf and is maintained until the situation is resolved, locking down all further developments. When the herd's cohesion is broken, the survival advantage quickly diminishes and is no longer sustained. In a vast, frigid environment, even a slight delay can alter the distance between people, and from there, the situation can shift in an irreversible direction. By a river in Alaska, a grizzly bear is feeding on its freshly caught salmon. The wide wilderness and high ground allow it to observe its surroundings and secure its food source. However, staying too long in one spot and the scent of the food spreading far attracts attention from afar, making it an easy target. From the edge of the trees, a pack of wolves stalked and approached from multiple directions, maintaining a distance around the bear's meal. They began to jostle for portions of the food as the bear bent down to eat, forcing the bear to guard its prey while keeping a watchful eye on its surroundings. When a few individuals got too close to grab a share, the bear immediately stood up to confront them directly, and this struggle quickly escalated into increasing pressure. The bear held its position in front of the food source and reacted decisively, continuously advancing to push back any approaching groups. The difference in size and distance made it difficult to sustain close-range attempts. The advantage gradually shifted towards the individual maintaining a safe distance, and this was consolidated until the pack of wolves had to retreat. When they could no longer maintain a close enough distance to exert pressure, the wolves' chances diminished significantly. In open space, simply holding their position made a difference, and from there, the situation closed in on itself. In the frigid taiga forests and mountains of North America, the Wolverine moves slowly across the thick snow, where temperatures consistently drop well below freezing. Its thick fur helps it withstand the harsh weather and remain active when many other species restrict their movement. However, when near burrows and focused on protecting its young, its range of movement is narrowed, creating vulnerable points of access. In the area in front of the den, a wolf approached and observed from a distance before acting. Upon seeing an opportunity, it suddenly lunged straight at its opponent, forcing the Wolverine into immediate confrontation. The confrontation was intense, as both continuously closed in and vied for position, and this resistance quickly escalated into increasing pressure. Despite being pushed towards the den entrance, the Wolverine maintained its position and reacted fiercely to protect its young. Its persistence allowed it to maintain distance and force the wolf to slow its approach. The advantage gradually shifted to the steadfast defender and was maintained until the opponent was forced to retreat. When the defensive position could not be broken, the attacker's ability to approach significantly decreased. In the harsh environment, even a single point of contact could make a difference. And from there, the situation ended in a way that could not continue. In the grasslands and forest edges of the Rocky Mountains and Yellowstone, elk move nimbly between areas according to their natural rhythms. The diverse terrain allows them to quickly retreat to cover when they detect danger. However, while foraging in open areas and before moving into the forest, gaps gradually appear, creating vulnerable spots for exploitation. At the edge of the forest, a wolf silently maintained its distance before suddenly lunging into the elk pack. The direct approach caused the pack to panic and change direction repeatedly. With their rhythm disrupted, the wolf maintained its speed and stayed close to the nearest individual. And this chaos quickly escalated into increasing pressure. One elk reacted slowly and was separated from the group, failing to change direction with the pack, becoming an obvious target in the open terrain. The other wolves quickly joined in, coordinating to force their way and close the gap. The advantage gradually shifted to the one maintaining the pursuit rhythm, and was maintained until the situation was locked in. When the safe direction of movement was lost, the elk's evasive advantage diminished significantly. In open terrain, even a moment of delay can make all the difference, and from there, the situation quickly shifted in an irreversible direction. Through confrontations across various terrains, the wolves' most prominent characteristics are their ability to coordinate, persevere, and choose the precise moment to attack. Each situation demonstrates that the outcome depends not only on strength, but also on controlling distance, pace, and strategy. These factors ultimately determine the direction of each attack in the wild.